Hi everyone, I'm Sam and I'll be presenting the 2007 Caldecott Medal winner, Flotsam, by David Wisner. Flotsam does not contain any words, so it is strictly images and illustrations by David Wisner. So I attached here a link for a walkthrough that I think will be really helpful for you guys just to get a context of the story. So my summary of Flotsam. Flotsam is a book with no words, so the illustrations are used to convey the story independently. In Flotsam, a boy goes to the beach with his family. He spends his day playing with sea creatures, building sandcastles, and splashing in the waves when the ocean brings in an old underwater camera covered in barnacles. On this camera, he discovers pictures of the sea creatures doing strange things, such as sitting on couches and traveling through cities made of seashells. The ocean seems to be alive and carries many secrets. He also discovers pictures of children from around the world dating back many years. Each child poses, holding the photo of the previous child, going back to the Victorian era, depicted by black and white images. The boy adds to the historical photos by taking a picture of himself, holding the picture which shows dozens of children throughout the years. At the end of the story, the boy throws the camera back into the ocean for other curious kids to discover. The last page shows a young girl finding the camera, allowing for the cycle to start again. So here is a picture we see of the underwater camera covered in barnacles, which shows some of its date and its age. And here's a picture of our boy. This is our main character. And he is holding a picture of all the children who had found the camera before him who have taken a picture. So my thesis, using watercolor medium, sand-colored end pages, and a repeated lens concept, David Wisner creates Flotsam, a beautifully aesthetic story with a strong emphasis on narrative sequence and full bleed framing to portray the mystery and power possessed by the ocean. Media. Wisner's use of watercolor throughout Flotsam embodies the ocean. The watercolors create beautiful pastel color blends, which provide life and movement on every page. The choice of watercolors as the primary media was used by Wisner so readers could experience the ocean's powerful waves and textured sands without the use of words. This allows for readers to experience the ocean in a realistic way. Distance. The use of full bleed framing for illustrations immerged the readers into the story in a more intimate way. Because Flotsam does not have words, the illustrations are necessary to carry the story. Wisner uses this method of illustrating so the readers can have a closer view of the pictures and their details. So here we can see two images, and the one on the left is of a pufferfish, which is turned into a hot air balloon. And these are the seashell cities that I talked about before, and these were two images found on the underwater camera. Because of the full bleed formatting, readers are able to get a closer look at the images and possess a better understanding of the story. So here we see our main character, and he is looking at a sea creature, and we can see the full bleed. It really engages us in the story, and I feel like it really makes readers feel like they're a part of the story almost. Narrative sequence. Due to the omission of words in Flotsam, the sequence of illustrations are necessary for the story to unfold. Wisner utilizes narrative sequence by including comic book-like strips of images on some pages and full bleed images on other pages. The variation between the two styles engages the reader and provides them with different perspectives throughout the boy's day. So here on the bottom, we can see the comic book-like sequence here, and this is really helpful because it is showing the boy getting the underwater camera pictures developed, and he has a 1 hour photo, it says here. So we can see him waiting and passing the time. So I think that's a really good feature used just to help show the time and dates on things. And then we have the full bleed up top, and this is the boy looking at some of the pictures that he got developed, which is really important because we are able here to see these images, and then these images are shown on more full bleed pages in the future. Without an intact narrative sequence, readers will not be able to have a full comprehension of the story and the mystery the ocean holds. So here we can see our main character. He is looking at some of the pictures that he got developed, and we can really see, because of that full bleed page, the detail and the astonishment in his face when he discovers some of those images. color. Throughout Flotsam, illustrations possess beautiful colors that bring the story to life. While Weisner's use of watercolors creates softer hues, each image, each image has a strong sense of realism to it. He also uses color to tie into the theme of the ocean and beach by coloring the end papers a light sand. So here we can see how realistic the scenes look and the illustrations look. The watercolors really make everything blend together really nicely, just like it would on a beach with that color transition there. Um, and all the colors are very realistic. None of them are overly bright and none of them take away from the story, I feel like. And then we have our end pages, which are a light sandy color, and you can't really tell, but there are some details and some other colors that make it really look like sand on there. Additionally, the colors Weisner chooses to use for the photographs of children throughout history provide the reader with the context that these photographs are very old. Through the use of black and white, the reader can identify how dated the photos are, which plays a large role in supporting the idea that the ocean is mysterious and powerful. So here this image shows, it shows the pictures that the boy found on the underwater camera of the children holding images of the children before. So we can see that this boy is holding a picture of this boy here in the jacket, and he is holding a picture of the last person to take a picture with the camera, which was the girl with the short hair. And this girl is holding an image of um, the other girl here, and then she is holding the original picture, which is of this boy. And we can tell that these pictures are getting older as they go along because they are black and white. And we can also tell that this can be Victorian era because of his clothing choice and the dresses of the women behind him. Shape and repetition. Shape. Weisner repeats a certain shape or image quite frequently throughout the book. This image is of a lens. Pictured on the front cover of Flotsam is a camera lens. In the very beginning, we see a boy using a magnifying lens to see a crab up close. Later in the story, the boy uses the same magnifying lens to look closer at the photographs from the underwater camera. So here we can see the camera lens on the cover of Flotsam. We also see the boy with his magnifying lens in the very beginning, and he also has a microscope which has lenses and binoculars which also have lenses. And here he is looking closer, and this is when he discovers that the pictures date back to the Victorian era, possibly. The common trend of lenses throughout Flotsam symbolizes looking closer at the unknown. The boy is very curious and decides to take a look at the sea creatures on the beach, which then leads him further to look into the historic photographs he found on the underwater camera. Because of his curiosity and desire to look into the unknown, the boy discovers how truly mysterious the ocean is. Additionally, the camera lens is able to capture some of that mystery and reveal some of itself to inquisitive children throughout time. So here we can see the lenses playing a large role in the story as well. So he is looking closer and discovering how dated these pictures are using his microscope lens. And here he is adding to the history and joining it by taking a picture of himself using the camera. And we can see him holding the images of the children past in the lens reflection here. So for my conclusion, I found Flotsam, illustrated by David Weisner, to be very hands-on and thought-provoking. The style of story, using no words, can be challenging for young readers to understand if not done well. I believe Weisner did a great job of illustrating complex yet understandable images that told a story of mystery and excitement. I believe that this is a great piece of children's literature and can play a large role in encouraging readers' curiosity and sense of adventure. Additionally, a unit about pollution and clean beaches and oceans can be taught alongside Flotsam. Students can use Flotsam to learn how to use context clues and pay attention to details to construct the main idea of a story. From using only images, readers are able to have an understanding of the discovery the boy has made and how that connects him to children throughout history because of the ocean's mysterious powers. And this here is an image from the last page of Flotsam, and it shows the young girl who found the underwater camera that our main character of the story threw back into the ocean for other children to find. So here she is finding it and starting the cycle all over again. Thank you so much for listening.